Hola niños. Today's episode is about fashion. Trending fashions and the trendsetters that deem it to be a trend or deem it to look good for the public. Or we're talking about the fashionistas who claims to know about what it takes to look cool and decides to shame it as soon as their trend is big and everybody began to like them. Yes, today we are waging war on those motherfuckers. Hi, welcome to our opinions. This is your boy Bambino. Marhaban, or Minal Aidin wal Faizin. Welcome back to this channel. And today we are talking about fashion, as you can see. You see, guys, fashion is an evolutionary trend. It changes throughout the times due to convenience and, of course, whether it is eye-catching enough or not. Usually, the changes of our looks begin with one person or multiple person, whoever it is, who finds the comfortability and convenience of what they wear, hoping that everybody would follow through as look as they are a part of the current or the future century. But there are some people who decide to experiment and look different just to be cool, and usually that's fine. But as soon as someone else is wearing what they wore or what they said, they stop and shame them for copying them or just blatantly calling them as unoriginals. In Indonesia, we like to call them anak Skena. Okay, so before we continue to talk about these anak Skena, let's just look up what does anak Skena mean. Now, one thing in particular is, about fashion, you can see that these anak Skena are always trying hard to or trying too hard to look different or to look good or to look cool. According to Google, in my phone, right? In general terms, scenic kids are simplified as a group of people who has a similar taste or similar likings, but due to social media, they are translated into people who have specific taste. Usually, these scenic kids are deemed to be, not deemed to be. How I say it? They fall under the category of indie kids, but then again, it's not particularly just indie, just the things that they like, and they usually dislike people who like the things that they like as well if they're not in the same group. And this is why these scenic kids are people that I want to wage war on. But enough about these scenic kids. Now continue why the scenic kids fashion is something that I want to talk about today. Now, one thing in particular about fashion, you can see why scenic kids or anak Skena are always trying hard or trying too hard to be so-called unique and different, while every one of them who claims to be one always looks the same. Basically, they're just, man-made for factory outlets. Now, why do I usually call them the same? Because they typically wear the same things, like your Adidas Sambas or the Salomon Trend or the Jersey Blowcore motherfuckers, or people who tend to look like they like to climb mountains but they really don't, so they look stupid with their Timberland boots where they go to the cafes, or wearing cargo pants and safari fest, they're going into the mountains or the forest to hunt squirrels. Oh, and don't even get me started on these motherfuckers who wear bucket hats, who are synonymous to drug addicts.
Drop the drum! It's okay, nigga. I got that weed card. Shit!
Or they look as if they're going fishing. But, yeah. Oh man, these motherfuckers, they tend to get these stuff, right? Either from thrift stores or even worse, they get it from branded stores like H&M or even sometimes Zara or anywhere that's very known. And we can talk about non-clothings as well, for example, piercings or tattoos, micro tattoos, tramp stamps, or any edgy animals that you like, or like spiders, snakes, your your crows. Maybe if you're trying to be different, maybe add a chicken to your fucking leg. Yeah, it's weird. They try to be weird, but at the end of the day, it's just cringe. Now these things, right? These things are not originals, but they claim it to be. They love to think that they are the first one to caught on these trends, even though they just follow from usually Western cultures. Like for example, President Denim on social media, who claims to be the master or like the expert on like anything about denims or like raw denims and shit. Which mostly in these times, it's already like somewhat public knowledge, even though if you are a person who doesn't really know, you might want to look it up. But to claim that that one thing is yours, it's just sending the wrong messages. If anything, if I would say about the scenic kids, they're just rich kids with money because they can get it with their pocket money. I mean, like, why not put their money into like a fucking business? Or like, if you are really into fashion that much, I would say, why not just invest it on collector's items like your Air Jordan 1s or like your classic basketball team jersey like Chicago Bulls or like the 80s Lakers or something. Now those things, right, they are collector's item and you could increase their value by like putting yourself on social media wearing it and then, you know, just making it famous. But oh wait, you didn't even think of that because all you care about is some clout and fame. And honestly, it's fucking shameful. It's cringe. You are more shameful than the people you shame. Okay, now to on why these scenic kids tend to think that these trends are dead. Usually, they deem a trend to be dead is when a lot of people decide to follow their, well, trend. When the mass communities of people or the mass people decided to like wear what they wore. And they think it's like, oh my God, it's such copy pasting. Why are you copying me? You should be more woke on like your fashion sense and blah, 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 blah. When in case, right, in this particular situation, usually it's just personal claims. They think they are the trendsetters. Meanwhile, they're just checking social medias on the USA. Or like they're just checking Western social media and checking Western celebrities wearing these particular outfits because they think Westerners look cool. In fact, at the end of the day, you're just copying the Westerners. You're just copying the bules, and that's fucking cringe. You are not fashion woke. You're not malak fashion, as I like to say it. Now, usually, these cynic kids or anak Skena, they usually wear band t-shirts, right? And usually your Rolling Stones, your Megadeth, your Metallicas, or whatever, right? But the thing is, right, and this grinds my gears so much, is because they don't know the fucking band. They don't know them. They don't know the songs. Or at least they just know like one popular song, like one song. Like for example, if you ask, oh, you're wearing a Metallica shirt. What song do you know? Oh, I love Enter Sandman because it's a classic. Bitch! Find some other classics. Like, I would ask them, like, name your top 3 songs for this band. And if they choose, like, 3 of the most famous ones, you don't know the band. I'm sorry. It's just cringe. It's stupid. Because, like, you don't really know what it means to be a fan of said band. Because why? At the end of the day, you're just a scenic kid and you think you look cool by wearing a band t-shirt. Now, what they did is not making themselves unique. In fact, this would make them into sheeple. Now, what is a sheeple? Now, sheeple is basically a combination of words between people and sheep. And when you combine them, it's sheeple. What does it mean? It means these are the people who act like sheep because they need to be led. They need to be, to be heard. I mean heard not as in herd, as in H-E-R-D, herd. Di gembala, by the way. Now, these unique kids, they think they're so different, while in fact, they become the commoners who follow one person whose name is bigger, is way bigger than them, who's more famous than them. Now, usually what they did, they make these people who follow them, who don't have the same amount of money as they do, they tend to find cheaper alternatives. And usually, these motherfuckers shame the ones who buy cheap stuff, who essentially doesn't really have the capital to be as fashionable as them. And to shame them for your money, that's just low, honestly. Now, usually when we talk about like getting the cheaper stuff, usually these items, right? They are quite similar to the original items who cost a lot more. And you know what? There's barely any difference sometimes. Yeah, you know, your KW Satus, your KW Supers, KW Dua. It's not even that big of a difference. It's just a difference in price and then sometimes maybe like a difference in material. But at the end of the day, it looks the same. Hell, sometimes it looks better. And I like to say, for those who finds the cheaper alternatives, they are the smarter ones. Why? Because they know that all they need to do to look cool is just to find some things that are looking very similar and, you know, not as expensive, and they still look cool anyways. And I think that's a smart way of thinking. That's the true scenic kids. That's the more I like to call these people a bit more resourceful than those motherfuckers who think that they have to get the more expensive item, the original items, just to be awesome or just to be cool. Look, at the end of the day, I find those who find the cheaper alternatives are the smarter people or the more resourceful ones. Why? Because they don't need to spend much money to look cool. They can spend less money and still look better than you because, you know, they feel happy wearing it. And at the end of the day, it's just no one's really gonna look at your outfit. They just look at the general picture, whether it looks good or not, whether the design or like whether the color matches your outfits or not. It's just how it is. It's just, you know, basic human instinct. You just see, you judge people by its cover first. If you wanna, well, at least when it comes to fashion, yeah. When it comes to personality, it's different. Now, at the end of the day, these people are just a group of circles or like a group of friend circles who doesn't really understand what trend is or like what good trends that are like very important, but they just put it or implement it as something that they find themselves. And again, I would like to call them as unoriginals. Look, at the end of the day, these people, they just want attention. They just want acceptance from the public so they can be called as Malek fashion or, you know, fashionably woke, or they get complimented as a scenic kids from the public. And to the message to those scenic kids, right? I would like to say, lo tuh nggak skena. You are not a scenic kid. Lo tuh cuma nggak tahu aja apa yang bagus atau cocok buat lu. You don't know what it means to look good. You're just following another person's trend and like, you know, you're being a sheeple. If you really want to be different, be original. Try looking up different fashions. Try I don't know, wear an armor for once. You know, bring a sword. I don't know, wear some fucking, you know, wear your traditional clothes, but like in a better way. Find ways to look original and then, you know, set the trend whether it fits to society or not. And at the end of the day, you know, be original. Just be you. Be happy with your fashion. Don't do it just because you want adoration from people. Don't do it because it's not fucking worth it. But, well, that's the end of the episode for today's episode of Raw Opinions. Be sure to check out my socials. And, you know, this is not the end of my war against scenic kids. And I guess I'll see you in the next episode. See ya.